Hi guys, welcome to your daily tarot reading for Sunday the 22nd of November. I'm using the Radiant Rider-Waite deck for this reading. Let's see what the cards have to say about this day. First card, the Two of Wands, the Ten of Wands, looks very familiar. Oh wow, and the Three of Wands in reverse. Okay, let's see. The Two of Wands is about taking control. You can see a young man with the world in the palm of his hand, and really he's in charge of his destiny. He can decide where he's going to move, what he's going to do in that location, who he's going to meet, what he's going to learn, and it's really about where he wants to be. So he is abundant, he's prosperous, you can see that by his clothing. He doesn't worry about the details, so money isn't an issue. Permission to move isn't an issue. If he wants to jump on a ship and move to India, he can do that. And with that, he really has the choice of wherever he wants to be. Does he want to live by the sea, in the mountains, in the countryside? We've got this cross here with white flowers and red flowers. So he is literally at a crossroads. He's trying to decide which direction he's going to go in. And the decision he's making is based on his true nature, what he thinks his purpose in life is meant to be. So he connects spiritually to his higher self and he says, universe, God, why was I put on this planet? What is my purpose for being here? The red is about finding some meaning and passion and joy in all of that. It's not just about trying to suss out what the rules are and why am I on this planet and what commandments should I follow. It's about what am I really good at and what can I do that's going to make me happy and how can I really show some integrity to myself and live the best life I can. We've also got these battlements. So he must be wealthy and rich because he's in a castle with battlements, so obviously there's the potential for war and invasion and other people trying to take what's his, but he's protected. No one is currently shooting arrows at him. There's the town, the village underneath. And what's interesting is that my attention is being drawn to those buildings. Let's say he is the owner of the castle. Let's say he's the local nobleman responsible for the people living under him. He's not interested in that at all. He's not interested in anyone else's well-being. He's only interested in being true to himself. He's covered in red. So other people who, let's say these people down here, although they seem to have their own houses and roads and things, if they were trying to get his attention and trying to get him to take care of them, they would be waiting a long time because he is only interested in himself. Red is about passion, desire. Orange is about control. He is literally trying to control his place in the world. The two wands open a doorway and he is looking at the future. He's looking at what he's going to do with his life. So it's important to realize that this is kind of a fact of life today, that people are looking out for their own interests, that if you're looking for someone else to make everything okay for you, that's not going to work. The only way you're going to be able to take control of your own life is by saying, what can I do for myself? Not what can my wife do for me or my grandma or my children or the government or the job that I belong to. What does life owe me is not a question that's going to work today. The world doesn't owe you anything according to this card. You were put here with certain gifts and talents. It's up to you to take control of that and to do something with those gifts and talents. That's a really tough message. It's really about the self. It's saying that no one else is going to do it for you. And that can be hard to hear, especially if you're struggling. And if you find it difficult to assert yourself or to say, okay, world's my oyster. Where am I going to live? Who am I going to work for? What am I going to do? I mean, all of us are in the same boat. And we know what it's like to have to do everything absolutely yourself. It can be a little bit difficult. So the important thing here is that he isn't completely alone. The important thing is to connect with the higher self, which gives you that sense of love and compassion and saying that while it's important that you take control of your life, it's also important that you treat yourself kindly and with care. And if you feel like you have to move to Alaska, but it's a little bit outside of your your abilities right now, then but don't beat yourself up about that, but keep looking to the future and what you will do, and do the best you can today. The Ten of Wands, you can see that he's trying to hold it all together, and it's just a bit much. If he takes a wrong step, all of these wands are going to fall down. He's going to have to pick them all back up, and it's exhausting. So the important thing is, rather than looking at every different little opportunity, is to either say, how can I combine all of this into one and bring things together to turn them into one wand or two? So one path, one purpose, one or two choices for the future, rather than trying to absolutely fix everything. And what I'm being told with this card is, it is not useful for you to look back on your life and to lament on what you haven't done, what you need to catch up on, what you feel has been taken from you. What's important today is to keep it simple, to be kind to yourself, to not overwhelm yourself, and to say, okay, there are lots of things that I can do. Let's be grateful for that, at least, that I have the passion and the desire to do something with my life. But I'm not going to be able to achieve every goal that has eluded me up until now in 1 second. Otherwise, I would have done it already. So it's important to keep it simple, and also then to be practical about what you can actually do. So let's say I see my future moving to New York. Then right now, he's not going to be able to travel in 2020 because there are limitations. So rather than saying, okay, I'm going to beat myself up about not being able to move house and sell my property and move to New York and get the perfect job and feel like a failure because that is outside of his or her control, it's important to say, at least I have a direction to move into. I can perfect that by planning ahead, and when things do open up, I can support myself and say, I've been thinking of going to New York for a while, so that's what I'm going to do now. The final card, the Three of Wands, is very similar to this. The Two of Wands is about making a decision that I'm going to get moving. I'm going to take control. The Three of Wands is the next step. It's kind of, I've decided to move, I've decided to travel, and I'm looking for the ships that I'm going to hop onto. I'm looking at the details. I'm looking at actually doing this. And it's in reverse. So it's not that important for you to take the action today. What's important for you to do is to look at the open doorway that is available to you if you choose to look to the future. And if it feels overwhelming and if it feels impossible and it causes you anxiety, then today you have the opportunity to integrate those desires with actual practical how-to methods so that you can do this in future. So it's a great day to plan. It's a great day to ask yourself, what do I want to do with my life? And to really get those answers. And those answers are going to be followed up with concrete guidance on how to move forward with that. So it's the perfect day to really question where you're at and where you would like to be without pressure and without kind of flogging yourself and giving yourself a hard time over why you haven't done this or why you failed in the past or why hasn't it happened yet, without that really critical, tough voice. And also the tough voice of the first card saying, oh, all you ever do is think about yourself, and why haven't you still not done it? Well, maybe because it's a little bit new. Maybe because I haven't done it before and I'm scared. Maybe because I don't feel supported and alone. So, it's one thing to be successful in life, but it's another thing to set these unbelievable expectations for yourself and to say, oh, you see, you weren't a millionaire at 20. You don't live in a duplex. You haven't managed to move. It's really easy to get on your own case and to criticize yourself so badly for having failed in the past that you really ruin your future with that criticism. And the reading is saying that today you have the space to explore your own kind of future without that harsh voice coming in and saying, oh, well, you haven't made it in the past. What are the odds of you making it now? And to just lay off a little bit and to allow yourself to dream and to look to the future and then to be practical about it in a way that is actually doable and in a way that puts pressure on you in a way that you can actually do something without flooding yourself with so much info and so many different options that you immediately stop because it becomes overwhelming. Number-wise, we got 2 and 10 is 12, and 3 is 15, 1 and 5 is 6, and 6 is a temporary opportunity. So you have the opportunity to really check in with yourself and to ask yourself these questions about what do I want to do with the future without the usual anxiety and fear that can often shut things down straight away. Because it's your fear that often says, no, you can't, you see, because it's too scary. If something is too scary, look at it and ask for support from your higher self, which has placed it in you to begin with. And realize the strength you have and that you can do things for yourself. Number-wise, I've looked at that. Yep, temporary opportunity. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.